Hola guys, ¿qué pasó? What's going on? This is Hala Pablo. Hey, going to do a recap on some of the gains we made this week on these crypto swings. Some of them are pretty nice, others not so nice. Uh, we just have to take into account that we're still in a counter trend with Bitcoin just being very shaky right now. It's really polarized traders as far as the bulls and the bears. There's some that are saying it's going up, others saying it's going back down. Then you got others like me saying, well, yeah, it's going to go back down a little bit. It's going to go back down the retest, but not as far as a lot of people think. Of course, I could be wrong. What the hell do I know? I mean, no one has a crystal ball. But I think that if Bitcoin does go back down, we're going to revisit the 17.5 previous low, possibly down to 16, but I think we'll kind of bottom out around 16. It could completely surprise me, go down to 10,000. Shit, I hope not. There's going to be a lot of problems if that happens with liquidity issues for other entities right now that I'm involved in. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm prepared for the worst, but hoping for the best. So I say 16,000. That's my care. So anyway, we're still, all that said, we're still in a counter trend, and it's can be very precarious trading crypto going long like we do on these swings when we're in a basically still in a bear market. Going long in a bear market is not for the faint-hearted, and it can be very dangerous. So with these swings that we're doing, we're what I recommend doing, what I do is I set limit sells. I don't fuck around with these things. I set limit sells and I get out. I don't. The big thing is you don't get greedy in these, because some of these go into some real strong micro pumps or rallies, micro rallies that looks like they're going to keep going and going. But at any point, Bitcoin can take a nosedive, and guess what? All these alts are getting pulled down with it, since many of them are still indexed to Bitcoin's price action. So you could have something that's going to the moon. It's got volumes, it's got demand spikes everywhere, and then Bitcoin takes a nosedive, and then suddenly you just see all those gains wiped out had you not taken profit. So to avoid that, what I do is I set limit sell orders on these between the anywhere between the 272 Fibonacci and the 618. Rarely will I go over the 618. You're just cruising for a bruising if that's what happens if you take it beyond the 618 in this counter trend. During the reversals and the full-scale bull reverse, the bull trend reversals, that's a different story. You could ride those up and milk them. But here, you don't want to screw around. You don't want to get caught. You don't want to lose all your gains. You don't want to get hung. So that said, we'll go through some of these. These charts were shared with my trading group. First and foremost, I'm very selective on the swing cryptos, especially in the counter trend. So I share them with my group first. They get first dibs. They get the preliminary entrance points of where I'm getting in, and then after they've marked up, some of them don't mark up, but the ones that do mark up and look like they're going to go into the Fibonacci target range, that's when I upload them to TradingView and share them with everyone else. But the ones who support me through Patreon get the first dibs of what I find. So anyway, some of them that we'll go through some of the list on TradingView that I posted. Spell, I just put Spell up the other day. It hasn't done much, but the volume is looking good on it. We haven't made any gains yet. But you see, we have predominance of volume in the demand. We have both demand and supply diminishing, which is evidence of absorption, institutional absorption. And then we have this clearly delineated trend line, micro trend, that the lows keep bouncing off of. So we're riding this up. I'm going to see. The crucial point is what it does at the 0.5 Fibonacci, which is this yellow line here. There seems to be an order block above it that keeps rejecting, bouncing it off, repelling it. So we're going to see. I think it's going to, when it gets up to the apex of the of where the micro trend meets the 0.5 fib, it's going to be like the point of do or die. And there's a good possibility, I think, judging off the preliminary in the predominance of demand that it's going to do and not die. So that's what I'm banking on. And it would be prudent, it would be wise to set your, if you're going to get into something like this, to set, like what I've done, you set your limit sell to 1.272, and that'll net you about 10%. So 10% is not spectacular, but you know, you can still make money in these counter trends. You just have to be smart and really got to be Machiavellian. You gotta kind of figure out what the market makers are doing and go along with them, because they are Machiavellian sons of bitches to the core. So you have to, if you want to make money, you got to do what they do. Otherwise, you become their prey. So Spell has yet to be seen what it's going to do, but we're waiting with bated breath. Now, Karura Bitcoin is one that I found. I saw this trading pattern going on, and this is a well-known bullish trading pattern to me, and I saw the low volume and I thought, how could I resist? So I posted this on my group, and then I don't know, a few hours later, look what it did. Boom, rocket ship, baby. You know, moon age daydream right here, baby. So this was something I didn't expect it to go this high. Obviously I didn't set limit sells this freaking high. I mean, we're talking like 40% on a counter trend on a micro. So 272 was my limit sell. I got out, but it's still going. I may jump back in. It's looking like it's reconsolidating here, and if so, then once I get more confirmation, this would be a good opportunity to jump back in. Of course, that's all contingent on what Bitcoin does. Eyes are always on Bitcoin. Request. Here I put to invalidate under 11 cents, and sure enough, it hit 11 cents. But before it did, it pumped up a little bit, and it hit, let's see, it hit my limit sell. So I actually made money on this one. See how it came up right here? Almost to the 2. Yeah, I forget what I made. I think I made like 9% on this or something, like a 9% gain before it went down through the invalidation point. But I was already cashed out by then. So this one was a this one was a win. And then LPT. This one was a bust. This one busted. This one distributed. Totally distributed. Didn't make any money on this. I had the macro liquidity voids all drawn out, and I was really hoping. I'd seen these demand spike. Clearly, they were testing demand. But in the end, it just went the other way to absorb more supply. It wasn't ready yet to mark up. So that happens, and I drew out my Wyckoff schematic for distribution here. Sometimes you just got to take the L and move on. Luckily, I didn't have much in, and I got out fast. These are, you go in preliminary, like what I teach in my group. You never go all in. You go in small, and then you increase it. You grow your position as it marks up. Of course, in these counter trend momentum plays, you can't really do that. You just set you got your preliminary. You're not really going to add to it unless you take profit somewhere up and don't get out completely and then add back into it as it reconsolidates. But on these, you just, you do your determination of how much you want to put in, and you never go all in. But so say you have like $1,000 to play with, maybe you want to trade four cryptos, you only have $250 cores per. So if you put $250 in this, and then you pre-designate your limit sell, and hopefully it hits it. But you got to watch it, because it could dive on you and wipe you out. But hopefully, if you don't have a lot in it, you're not going to take that big of a loss, especially if you're setting a stop loss, 7% or 5%, 0.05 or whatever it is. So this one didn't make it. So I canceled this. I terminated this trade. LPT. Bread made it. Bread did good. So we've only lost out on one so far. Here it is. Same thing. Predominance of volume and demand. And it shot up. It came back up to between the 618 and the 2. So bread 7.97. It made about almost 8% on this one before we got cashed out right here. But see how it went through the 618 and came back down. Now it's riding. It's hugging rather micro trend resistance. It's probably going to go back up, especially on this low volume. See how it's like hugging the resistance line on low supply and demand. that's usually a sign that it's reconsolidating, it's reabsorbing around along these lines, and the price action is looking to expand. If Bitcoin continues to behave, Bitcoin really needs to stay on its meds. If it doesn't stay on its meds and it gets bipolar and goes down, then all of these are fucked. So you just keep that in mind. That's why you get in and out quickly on these. Bread, but bread was a win nevertheless. IMX was a win. This is one I shared. At the time when I shared it, it was at the 1 fib, and then not long afterwards, it shot up almost to the 618. If you'd taken profit on at the 272, between the 272 and the 618, you would have made money on this. Forget how much I made. But it marked up all the way to almost to the 618 and then back down. Now it's hugging microtrend resistance, or support rather, and it remains to be seen. But we do have, again, the supply that came in on this ABC correction did not predominate the preceding demand. Oh, and also I want you to see that it decreased, the supply decreased on the down, on the pullback. So whenever you have decreasing supply on a pullback that is intra-channel, that's usually a good thing. It means the party's not over. They're just, someone went out to buy more beer. That's all that means. And it's reconsolidating, or it's hugging the microtrend support. It's a good sign that it may not be done yet. There's still gas in the tank. So we're going to keep looking at IMX. That's why I haven't taken it off my watch list. Sylo was a bust. Sylo, and this I put so much work into. I measured out the cup and handle and the depths, the Fibonacci depth ratios, and the fucker just ended up going back down for more distribution, which is fine. I got out of this one, and there I delineated the Wyckoff distribution schematic with the UTADs and the last point of supplies as it marked down, and I just said I'm not going to mess with this anymore. I just got out completely. This one was a bust. So of all of them, I think we've been through 5 or 6. We got 2 that were duds. ARPA did well. ARPA marked up. See, here it is. It went up to the 618, through the 618. What did it make on this one? Almost 10% gains in 2 days. So this one was a good one. This one went up. See, the way I knew that we had this narrow consolidation, lateral consolidation on a slightly rising channel, and while the price action was on a slow incline, not a decline, on an incline, both volume of supply and demand were decreasing, like we see so often, which denotes absorption. And so we had a little umph here, a little push before it marked down, and this is when Bitcoin made that nosedive. So luckily we got out. We got out between the 618 and the 272, and we made about 10% on it. So this one was a good one. So you can make money during these counter trends. You just got to know what you're doing. KRL, this one, Krill, this one I messed up on. This one marked up 60%, guys. 60 fucking percent. This one marked up, but I didn't make any money on it. Why? I set my damn targets too high. I set it at the end of this wick, and what I should have done is started it at the candle body. I thought it would go and surpass this wick, and wick past it according to the Fibonacci, and make gains in those areas. Instead, it marked up nicely, but it topped out at the 1 fib, or like right below the 1 fib is where I should have. See, so had I started setting my, like if this was the 1 Fibonacci target ratio, the 272 and the 618 here, which it should have been, hell, we would have made 40-50% on this one. But we screwed up. So it did mark up, but I set my targets wrong. So it's a wash either way. AGLD did very well. AGLD marked up. Boom. Yeah, it went up to the 272 and basically halfway to the 618. What do we make on this one? Oh, what do we make on this one? 15.25%. So we made 15% on this one. And even here, I had the line drawing out the absorption, and then like volume came in, and I even put wait for volume, waiting on volume confirmation. Well, this was the volume confirmation, and that's what picked it up. But you put your limit sell you designate your limit cells before the volume kicks in, obviously, because otherwise you're already, the spaceship is taken off and you're chasing it. And that's what the noobs do, and that's why noobs usually end up buying tops. But if you'd gotten in before the volume confirmation, you would have made 15% on AGLD. And then Luna. Now Luna, guys, I hold a moon bag on Luna. I hold almost 5 million Luna Classic in the form of wrapped Luna Classic. And so Luna, guys, I'm going to do a separate video on Luna, but I have a lot of high hopes for Luna. But I set this, in case you hadn't been in Luna, I got in right at the, well, I didn't get in, I was already in, but I just did the chart for those who might have been interested because I knew it was going to mark up with that symmetrical triangle. I had a very good, and like, well, look how low this volume is. And then the volume that came in, the demand. And so Luna is still, I mean, like I said, it's a whole other video I'm going to do on Luna. I'm very optimistic on it. I think that it's going to get readopted, and it's going to go and make people a lot of money. I'm certainly hoping that's going to make me money. And then ORCA. I think I did all these on my last crypto gains video, so I'm not going to go back into there. So right now we're just waiting on Spell. And then I have a few in my potentials that I'm just waiting on signs, on verification signs, confirmation signs, and then I'm going to upload them. Suku is one, Power, Farm, CTSI, ApeCoin, Coval, Algo, Atom, and looking for some more legs up on synthetic. So those will be in videos to come. But anyway, that's enough for now. I hope you got something out of this one. I'll be doing more technical analysis videos this week, but I wanted to just get this one done and post it up in my Patreon so others can see it. So if this was informative, this helped you out in any way, I'd certainly appreciate a like. Just to let me know you're listening, and that'll inspire me to put more of these up in more depth. And I'm also going to be doing technical videos on how I actually do my what I look for as far as pattern recognition and candlestick reads and all that, like, you know, going off shooting stars, hanging man, gravestone, dragonfly dojis, long-legged dojis, things like that to look for on the lower time frames, the forensic time frames, which I call them, the 45-minute, the 30-minute, all the way down to the 15-minute. And so we're going to be looking at those too, and I'll give you tips on how to pick some of these winners. But as you saw, not too bad. What do we have, 7 or 8? And of those, only 2 distributed. So track record's pretty good still. And, you know, VSA works. VSP works, and Wyckoff does as well. So if this was helpful, go ahead, like, subscribe, and I'll try to get some more out ASAP. All right, guys. Have a good day. Be safe. Happy trading. Oh, and happy 4th of July. Adios, motherfuckers. Bye.